Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at the final episode of Mob Psycho, episode 12, and the whole series we're going to be reviewing as well. So, some of you might be going, what the hell, Aaron? You only reviewed the first like two episodes of on your channel and then stopped completely, and then you talked kind of trash about the show. And that is very true. I did talk trash about the show. I went into it hoping that it would be something amazing because I love One Punch Man, and I'm by the way super hyped that One Punch Man season 2 was confirmed. But aside from that, I went into this and I hoped it would be something really close to One Punch Man, or maybe something around that because it's from the same creator and stuff like that. And what I ended up getting was a show that at first kind of turned me off. I won't lie. The animation, the art style was not my cup of tea. I mean, I watched something that reminded me of this recently, which was Tonkatsu DJ, and those type of shows like with those weird quirky animations, I can take or leave them. I mean, like Ping Pong the animation. I know a lot of people love that series. I'm not a huge fan of Ping Pong the animation, only because the actual animation part of it's very odd to me. It doesn't flow with me. But what's funny about Mob Psycho is I kept hearing nonstop how much better it got after episode 3. How even though the graphics and animations and all that were not up. I said graphics, by the way. I didn't mean to say that, but the animation, the art style, I should say. They got better by after season 3, I think it was. And then I also heard how it was just getting more and more fun to watch and more enjoyable. The battles were getting cooler and stuff like that. And so what I did was I decided, okay, you know what, let me give this another shot, because as you know, I don't drop a show. So I watched episode 3. I loved it. It was really powerful. It was really cool. It had some super cool action. And then I kept watching it, and I caught up before I knew it. And now I finally was able to watch episode 12 on time today. So I was really happy about that. Now, here's the thing about Mob Psycho. Episode 12, let's talk about that first, because, that's what you guys are here for, not me to talk about the past of this. Episode 12 was really cool. It was very, very different for a season finale. I'll say that right now. Very, very different. A lot of people from this image expected, something profound to happen with Mob, and he was going to fly off the handle and start killing everyone and destroying everything. He didn't do that. What happened was his power, when Reagan was hurt, before that, his power was transferring to Reagan, and with that happening, Reagan actually absorbed his power to a point. So he goes around and didn't feel anything. Like, he got sliced in the back, didn't feel anything. The enemies, the 7th Division starts attacking him full force. They can't do crap to him. It's almost profound how much they can't do anything to him. And here he is without any psychic powers technically, but he's just washing away with all this defense that Mob gave him, and it's just fun to watch. I mean, it's just very odd because I was expecting like a climax final battle, like, oh my god, we're gonna see Mob at full force. That didn't happen. And what's funny about that is like the weirdest scene of this was right here with you have his thing with like him spewing out profoundity and going, oh, not profoundity, excuse me, that's not even a word. It's like profound natures and stuff like that. And what's funny about this is that it's like, what the freak is happening? What? Why? It's this is, by the way, the image I'm showing right now also is where his power is transferred over. I should have showed that probably before, but I figured I'd go in order with this. I'm going to go back to the first image because I think that's so cool. That first image is so creepy. But, this episode just ended kind of on a very simple fight. I mean, Reagan was unstoppable for a while. He eventually lost Mob's powers, but luckily, the one kid with the spiky hair, I forgot his name off the top of my head, but apparently he is not just a rookie in the organization. He's actually a higher up, and he was there to recruit people. And he ended up, fighting the old man, who was, by the way, that the person in the mask who everyone thought was a girl. Even one of the characters says that he thought he was a girl, was actually a dude. It was an old man. The gravity powers. He fights him and beats him, and then goes, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna leave now, so because there's no one here that's strong. And what's funny is his parting words to Mob was that, you're a coward, Mob. You should have fought or whatever. I'm disappointed in you. It's something that you see later on have something of effect on Mob. He starts thinking about it a little bit, but we'll probably see that happen maybe in season 2, something with that. Overall, though, it was a very simple episode. I mean, it even has. What's funny about this is it's not even episode 12 technically until the very last 3 minutes of the show, where then they have a separate story, and that is episode 12. And I was like, what? What the hell? But I mean, here's the thing. Let me review Mob Psycho now, the whole thing. Story-wise, it's very simple. It's not meant to be anything very profound or very unique. A young kid with psychic powers in a world that really does not have that many psychic users. There are people that do have psychic powers around that are strong, but he's one of the strongest, and he's now trying to come to, realization of how to control that. And what's funny about that is, he's a quirky kid. Like usually psychic shows that have characters like this are usually, you know, people that are outgoing or more so kind of dark and moody inside or whatever. Mob represents a more chilled and relaxed protagonist. That's very interesting for a type of genre like this. You know, over the course of the series, we see him kind of grow as a character. You know, he gets really tough at times. He goes back to being normal. But one thing I like about his characters is it kind of stays consistent for the whole series, which is very rare for any character in general. Like, I thought he would change a little bit and maybe get more mature or more, I want to say, dark or anything like that. He didn't do that. He just stayed kind of at a consistent level. The other characters got their screen time, but they never felt like they were really important besides Reagan. Like, even his allies that joined Mob later on do not feel as important as Reagan or even that one spirit that ends up following him. I forgot they named that thing. It started with a B, but you know, it's a very cliche story, but it works well in what it gives you. Like, I mean, the characters are fun. You know, they're interesting. The concepts are interesting. So, I mean, I give it a passing grade with the story. Animation and art, I will say, is probably the weakest thing of the show. I don't care what anyone wants to say. That's just me, though. So, remember this already. It's a biased opinion on it because, honestly, I didn't like the art. But a lot of people that love the comic that this was based off of, the manga, the webcomic, whatever you want to call it, loved the art style for it, and they felt that it was so cool to see that being translated directly into an anime rather than it being changed like One Punch Man. Like One Punch Man, the manga originally and the art style was changed very dramatically for the anime. So, you know, people are going to say that this is awesome to have like this. I cannot agree with that, but I will disagree with one thing that I'm saying also kind of hypocritical statement. But, you know, I do love the fights. Like when Mob goes full out and when they're fighting in general, everyone's fighting with their psychic powers. I think it's done so well. It's probably some of the coolest stuff ever. But overall, I'm not a huge fan of it, just to be honest. Soundtrack wise, I actually love the opening. I think the ending's okay. The music that's used in the show is hit or miss. It's very forgettable at times. It's also very mood appealing and more kind of setting up for the scenario that's going to happen on screen and stuff like that. So it works in its favor. It's just not anything that great. Enjoyment for me was I enjoyed Mob Psycho because I felt that it was still fun to watch. You know, despite it having mad animations, it's almost like something like Tonkatsu DJ, which that had horrible animations to me. I hate the animation for that. It was fun to watch for some reason, and every episode I enjoyed watching, and I love to catch up with this. I caught up with it so fast, given that I just started watching it again maybe like last week, and for me, I was, I think, episode 3 or maybe 4 at the time, and finally, or excuse me, I was episode 3 because I didn't get up to the last fight with that. I caught up so fast with it despite being so far behind, besides also watching other shows too. So that goes to show you that I really dig this show. Overall, if I had to rate Mob Psycho from an A through F, given that I'm trying to stay unbiased with many things on it, I'd have to give it the middle route. It's going to get a B. You know, Mob Psycho is not good looking. I don't care what anyone wants to say. Realistically, it's not a good looking show. The psychic fights and all that do look really well done. The animation, the art style, and colors are interesting and unique. That will give it a boost in score. Story wise is cliche. I can't give it any really prompts for that. Music is okay, hit or miss here and there. Great opening, everything else like meh. But you know, overall, if you are looking for something fun to watch and something kind of unique and interesting, can't do wrong with Mob Psycho. I think if you give it a shot, get past the 3rd episode, guys and girls. Get past that like kind of plateau. If you still don't like it by episode 3, try to get it past episode 5, because that's why I've been hearing a lot of people also say they get really like hyped up for the show after episode 5. You know, honestly, it's only a 12 episode show, so getting past episode 5, I mean, that's like almost halfway through the show, but it's kind of worth it if you really do find it really appealing. Anyways, guys and girls, I hope you enjoy this review. Please, if you disagree or agree with me, put in the comments below. I would love to comment back. As always, if you do like the video, please share it. Please subscribe to the channel. You know, show me some love here. And as always, until I pass across again in the next review, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.